Yo, what is up, guys? Epic Play 83 here, and today we're gonna be mastering the blade with the Excaliber Warframe. Ow! Hey, what the? Hey, stop! Okay, that's enough, guys. Okay, guys, clear out. We're done. Anyways, as I was trying to say, this is Excaliber. So Excaliber is a pretty average warframe with about 300 health and 300 shield at max rank, and he has about 225 armor, which is pretty high, making him the tankiest of the 3 starter frames. Really good for beginners. And he has about 150 power at max rank. Nothing special there. Again, average. Sprint speed of 1. Again, average. And he has 1D and 1V polarity, as well as no polarity in the aura slot. Now, I'd recommend you put a V polarity in the aura slot, but that'll be modding later. I'll get more into detail with that. Now, you can get him from defeating Ampulus on Hades Pluto, or you can buy him from Teshin from 60,000 standing when you reach Typhoon. Honestly, who cares? Just beat Ampulus. It's freaking easy. Anyways, he's a pretty fun warframe. He's based off the blade, and all his abilities revolve around him and his blade. He's pretty cool. Alright, so let's get on to Excaliber's abilities. So Excaliber's first ability is called Slash Dash. So for 25 energy, Excaliber dashes forward with his Exalted Blade. He can dash forward to up to 12 meters at max rank and does about 250 base damage. Now this can be scaled up by mods such as Steel Charge and physical elemental damage mods. Now this is affected by power strength, and the passive, his passive also adds in more damage if you use some sort of sword. So the cone length is affected by power range, and enemies damaged by Slash Dash also suffer a knockdown. Now this is very good for fast traveling, as you can just go around, and sometimes you can pass through laser barriers with this. So it's overall just a nice fast travel ability, and it's pretty useful. Alright, Excaliber's second ability is called Radial Blind. So for 50 energy, he blinds enemies and opens them up to finishers. Now this is great for reviving allies and for crowd control. Now this is affected by power duration as well as power range, and the affected enemies are initially stunned, and then also the duration will affect how long they're stunned. And this has a duration of 15 seconds at max and a range of 25 meters. So it's a pretty good ability. Some people just mod it just for this ability, just because it's that good. It's just a very simple and overall effective ability, and it's very spammable as well. So Excaliber's third ability was basically his fourth ability before update 16.9, I believe, and it costs 75 energy, and it shoots spears from the ground that impale and stun enemies, like that leaper over there. It does about 1,000 damage base, and shoots out 12 javelins at max rank, has the same range as Radial Blind of 25 meters. This is a pretty meh ability. I mean, it's affected by power strength and power range, if you want to know that, but to be honest, it's not something worth building for. It doesn't really scale well into endgame, so I don't really use this ability that often. It's not really super great, so it's just okay, but it stuns enemies in high levels, so it's not really useful. It doesn't really impale them. So Excaliber's final, and probably his best ability, is called Exalted Blade. So with an initial cast of 25 energy, then 2.5 per second, he basically lets out his Exalted Blade and goes ham on anything in his way, because it just you kind of mash E, and then there's waves that come out from the weapon, so it's sort of ranged but melee at the same time. It's just so good. Now this does about 250 base damage, and you can increase this with power strength. Also, mods such as Steel Charge, elemental damage, and physical damage mods will also increase this. So you can also use crit mods like Body Count, Blood Rush, and you can use your Berserker mod to increase the speed of Exalted Blade, which I highly recommend, by the way. and you can also channel, so you can use Life Strike on it. Now this is a really good ability. It's probably the reason why I pick up and use Exalted Blade. Not Exalted Blade. I use Excaliber for Exalted Blade in infested missions like this one in Uranus, Sir Uranus. These guys are pretty high level and they're going down pretty fast. And I've actually survived about 20 minutes in this mission with no problems whatsoever. Now, you cannot replenish energy through Energy Siphon, although you can, or Team Energy Restores, but you can use the Rage mod, which is what I have for my build later that I'll show you guys. That will basically give you almost infinite Exalted Blade, which is really fun. So before I get to the modding real quickly, without further ado, let's get started modding an Excaliber Dragon helmet. So that's why Excaliber kind of looks a little bit different from his regular meh variant, you know. So he looks way cooler in this appearance. Alright, so how would I mod Excaliber? So I used this build from a guy named Headshot on YouTube. You should go check his channel out. I'll leave a link in the description below. I added I probably should add a V polarity in the aura slot so that I can increase more my mod capacity. So maybe take out Cohesion Drift for something like an Intensify for more power damage for your Exalted Blade, or a Continuity mod so that you can increase or decrease your drain along with Streamline to decrease your drain of Exalted Blade. Now this is my God Exalted Blade build. I ran Asura on Uranus for 20 minutes without any problems whatsoever with this build, and Excaliber is near invincible with this build. So what I did is I added Vitality as well as Steel Fiber and Armored Agility, and that will increase my armor and health, which will increase my survivability overall. And I didn't add a redirection because I wanted to take full advantage of the Rage mod, which converts 40% of damage on health to energy. Now this is very good because Exalted Blade does not take Energy Siphon or Team Energy Restores or Zenuric. So Rage is pretty much super good in this build. It is the key mod in this build that will help keep our Exalted Blade up and running. Now since we're going to have so much energy with a combination of flow, we're going to be using Quick Thinking, which when your health drops to 2, it'll automatically start draining energy to keep you alive. Now this is not a really strong drain, and you can just Life Strike, get back up, and then repeat this loop again, and you'll get infinite energy as well as keeping yourself alive with Quick Thinking. And overall, it's a really good build. It's what I run with Excaliber all the time. I don't really change this build. This is like Infested Slayer 101. Now, since Exalted Blade uses your mods on your melee weapon, we're going to be using Blood Rush to increase our crit chance, as well as Life Strike to channel, Body Count along with Blood Rush to increase your crit chance. Berserker, you definitely need this on Exalted Blade because it increases the attack speed so much. True Steel helps, and Organ Shatter as well. I put a Jagged Edge and Pressure Point for more damage, and that will basically make your Exalted Blade much more better in higher levels, and it'll help scale better in endgame. So that is how I would mod my Excaliber Warframe. So what are my final thoughts on Excaliber? So Excaliber, I'm pretty sure, is like the most fun Warframe I've played in a long time, especially with Exalted Blade. It's just something so satisfying about just slashing enemies. Anyways, I highly recommend this Warframe. If you are just starting out in the game, you don't know what to choose, go ahead, choose Excaliber. He is really good. He has a lot more armor than most Warframes, so he's pretty dependable and pretty survivable. And with the build that I just showed, he's really strong, especially with his Exalted Blade. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And this is Play3 signing out. Thanks for watching, guys.